AI minds, quantum leaps. Cut the noise, dive deep. Truth unlocked. Dr. Mike on the mic. Tech Unfiltered is on the clock. Now it's time for the show.
Every public reel and every public feed post on Instagram is now being analyzed by artificial intelligence. Meta says a large language model identifies signals such as topic and tone, then passes those signals into systems for ranking, recommendations, and content policy enforcement. Welcome to Tech Unfiltered. I'm Dr. Mike. Today's story is about the quiet AI layer underneath social media and the question it raises. Who defines what is relevant when a model interprets nearly everything public on the platform? This is not a rumor or a leak. Meta's chief financial officer, Susan Li, disclosed it during the company's second quarter earnings call. The word public matters. Meta did not say this system reads private messages, and it does not mean a person is manually reviewing your posts. Automated models analyze content that users have published publicly and turn it into machine-readable signals. It is still a significant change. Social media recommendation systems have long relied heavily on behavior. Did you stop scrolling? Did you watch a video again? Did you like it, share it, or move past it? Those signals can predict interest without requiring the platform to understand the content as a person might. Meta says large language models add another layer. They can classify what a post is about, characterize its tone, help generate training data, evaluate content quality, detect trends, and test ranking changes. The platform is moving from observing what people do after seeing a post toward also making automated judgments about what the post means. The scale is difficult to overstate. Meta says 3.6 billion people use at least one of its apps each day. Mark Zuckerberg said Instagram reached 2 billion daily users, while Threads crossed 500 million monthly users. Those are company-reported figures, but they explain why a small change in recommendation performance can affect an enormous number of people. Meta offered two examples. First, it says a recent Reels ranking update uses deeper user history and increased Instagram sessions by 15 basis points, or 15 100ths of 1%. That sounds small, but at Instagram's scale, it is meaningful. Second, Meta says more than half of recommended Instagram feed content is now less than 1 day old, more than twice the share from a year earlier. That can make the feed feel fresher and more current. It can also make the product more immediate and harder to put down. The first point is a company claim. The second is an inference about how that design may affect attention. Meta is also offering more direct controls. Instagram has a page called Your Algo, short for algorithm, where people can type what they want to see more or less of. Facebook has a similar feature called Shape Your Feed. Meta says more than 80% of the people who use the Facebook control return to it. That figure applies only to people who already chose to use the feature, not to all Facebook users. These controls are worth finding. Use them along with mute, unfollow, and not interested feedback. A highly relevant feed is not a neutral window on the world. It is an optimized product shaped by models, business goals, and the feedback people provide. The promise is that semantic understanding can surface a useful post from an unfamiliar creator. The risk is that automated interpretation becomes another opaque layer. Users may see a result without knowing which topic label, tone judgment, or inferred interest helped place it there. That matters because a tone label is not an objective description in every case. Humor, grief, irony, and cultural context can be difficult for both people and models to read consistently. Meta did not publish enough detail in the earnings material to evaluate how these classifications perform across languages, communities, or sensitive subjects. The careful conclusion is that the system is deployed at scale, not that its interpretations are always correct. The same shift is happening in advertising. Susan Li described a system called Meta Generative Recommender. Instead of scoring each possible ad separately, Meta says the system uses a large language model to reason about ad content and user preferences together. The company reported early performance improvements and says more than 9 million small businesses use at least one of its AI creative tools. Those are Meta's business performance claims, not independent measurements. For creators and small businesses, this can lower the effort required to make variations of an advertisement and find a likely audience. It can also increase dependence on Meta's own interpretation of content and customers. If the platform builds the creative, selects the audience, measures the response, and recommends the next version, the business gains convenience while giving one system more influence over the entire loop. AI is also changing how quickly Meta builds products. Zuckerberg said the technology helps teams ship faster. He pointed to a standalone Instagram app, forum for Facebook groups, and seller for marketplace. He said more consumer products are coming and that Meta can use its recommendation systems to find audiences for them. There is important history here. TechCrunch noted that Meta has tried app incubators before. Creative Labs and the later new product experimentation team produced many apps that were eventually closed. Threads is a recent success, but Meta also had the unusual advantage of promoting it through Instagram and its other established services. Here's the careful inference. AI changes the economics and speed of experimentation. It can make software faster and cheaper to produce. It does not solve the harder problem of creating something people want to keep using. Faster development also puts more pressure on product judgment, safety, privacy, and governance. Those decisions must keep pace with the new assembly line. The financial context is sobering. The Associated Press reported that Meta's second quarter revenue rose 28% from a year earlier to $60.8 billion. Profit fell 14% to about $15.85 billion, with legal charges and severance costs included. Free cash flow fell 91% to $784 million. Meta said capital expenditures for the quarter were $31.1 billion, driven by servers, data centers, and network infrastructure. These figures do not isolate the cost of Instagram's recommendation system, but they show that the broader AI strategy requires substantial physical infrastructure and investment. An analyst quoted by the Associated Press pointed to a credibility problem. Meta is presenting deeper personalization as a way to serve users' goals, while its advertising business benefits when recommendations increase engagement and conversions. Those interests can overlap, but they are not identical. Zuckerberg also discussed personal AI agents that could work continuously on goals involving health, relationships, and finances. He said messaging services such as WhatsApp may become important places for people to interact with multiple agents. He also described an incognito mode for WhatsApp and the Meta AI app that the company says keeps assistant conversations unreadable even to Meta. Those statements are forward-looking and company characterized. They are not proof that dependable general-purpose agents for billions of people exist today. The central AI story in social media is not simply a chatbot button. It is the layer underneath that interprets public content, matches advertisements, detects trends, supports rule enforcement, and decides which new product is shown to which person. For ordinary users, the practical response is modest but useful. Find the recommendation controls, give deliberate feedback. Remember that relevance is designed, measured, and monetized. And when Meta says its models understand the topic and tone of public content, ask who sets the goals those models are optimizing. Parents and educators should also understand that a child's feed may be shaped by machine interpretations of both content and behavior, not only by accounts the child follows. Creators should keep their own audience records and distribution options where possible. A recommendation engine can discover an audience quickly, and it can change just as quickly when the model or business goal changes. That is the part worth watching. I'll see you in the next one.